In the name of God, thank you very much for this opportunity. In this lecture, I want to talk about our study, improved performance of RTP relaying sessions in IMS transport layer with LREProxy. Some question would be raised about our topic. What exactly meaning of improving RTP relaying session in IMS network? Also, this question would be extended in voice over IP network too. I am Mujtaba Esfandiari. What is IMS? The IP Multimedia Subsystem, or IMS, is an architectural framework for delivering IP multimedia services such as voice, video, and all multimedia data. The IMS network has built on 3 layers. Each layer is consisting of various protocols and elements that processing, signaling, and media follow to specific application layer. In this figure, you could see the 3 layers of IMS network: access layer, control layer, and service layer. The call session control layer is the heart of IMS network. The transport layer is responsible to carry out real-time multimedia in IMS network. Some elements in this layer are SPC, session border control, multimedia gateway, interconnected border gateway function for connecting with other IMS network, and multimedia gateway control function to connecting with other PSTN network. In the left box, blue box, we have some call maker. In our study, we use SIPp tools. In the middle box, we have a control layer in IMS, call session control function. The green box is responsible for transport layer, and the right box we have application service in IMS network. We have some problems in transport layer in IMS network. With raising of requests for application service in IMS, the usage of resource have been increased. The ingress and egress node in IMS are critical point and could be potentially begin bottleneck because they have to transit huge signaling and multimedia packet from and to IMS network. The most significant of resource are used by routing and delivering multimedia in transport data layer in IMS network. Binatic, we also could use NFQ techniques in our study. Actually, I mean in edge border or in IMS transit network. But the cost of scalability and extendability of IMS network, especially in transport layer, the cost is more and more than other part in IMS network. So in this study, we demonstrate why using the NFV techniques for transport layer is not sufficient and would be costly. So we focus on transport layer to manage and optimize its resource and propose a new model that light RTP engine proxy or LREProxy. The related work, there are some different approach for improving IMS core network and related protocol. These approaches are classified in 5 terms. The first one is security. The second one is load management in session and control layer. Some papers are focused on scalability of IMS network based NFV techniques and cloud computing using SDN techniques. Some papers focused on propose a method to evaluate and analyze IMS network and VoIP, our IP network. And some papers are focused on improve high performance network processing and NIC queue management. The one of aspect of this section is we have to use 10 gigabit NIC in our system model. So some paper proposed some methods for improving performance IP-based follow in multi-core system and multi-queue NIC driver. This figure shows our system model. The LREProxy is seated in the green box that is represented for transport layer. LREProxy is composed of 2 different layers. I will describe them in the upcoming slides. The default configuration for our system model is based on default configuration for Camille project. The architecture of LREProxy model could be run as a standalone node in this picture in transport layer. We could see LREProxy that are seated as a standalone node or integrated with other node. For example, in this picture, we integrated LREProxy with IBCF function for other IMS or MGCF function for connecting with other PSTN network. The LREProxy is composed of 2 different layers that each layer are dependent from each other. The first layer is LREProxy controlling layer or LREPCL. This layer is developed as user space application, and the second one is transport stateful layer or TSL. The second layer is developed in kernel space. The CL and TSL could be run as independent function on different machine. For example, in this picture, we have one control layer for LREProxy and multiple transport stateful layer that could be work with one machine. So we can use some multiple instance on TSL layer in our network. The first layer, controlling layer, is responsible to get all information about creating sessions, active session, and tear down session, which is gotten from STP body during signaling plan in IMS, and relaying them as a hash into a tuple to a state layer. In the left picture, we could a simple STP body. Some important information surrounded with red rectangle, right, connecting information, for example, in IP4, media description name, audio, and its address, and the type of media, send and receive media. These information are cited with this structure and sent to the second layer. The second layer is developed in kernel space as a main decision point for RTP admission control and quick path selector to where a receive packet should be forwarded with the power of packet mangling framework in the network stack. We have 5 different kinds of net filter hooking: pre-routing, input routing, local routing, output routing, and post routing. We have to create a new function in this study. Our means is transport stateful layer function in pre-routing and register this function in kernel. So the second layer works as a new module in Linux operating system. When a new RTP packet is received by NIC, it is enqueued to one of the QNIC and interruption is occurred. Then based on its related CPU core, the admission control algorithm uses destination port as indexed to access built-in connection tracking linked list for getting STP information. When a packet is received, the index-based destination is calculated. Since destination port of each RTP session is unique in TSL, the algorithm could access to STP information in one order time. If there is any STP information, matching algorithm is started to check our other tuple information, the packet. The process of matching is done as a binary operation. As you could see, after routing decision, the all packet just forwarded to the destination and don't enter to the local destination. We have evaluated the LREProxy and its quality of service when the SIPp sessions calls are increasing per second more and more, up to 20,000 calls, because restricted by our making call server. The metrics that we focused on are packet loss, delay, jitter, MOS or Morse score, and voice codec in different voice codecs. Also, we investigate the impact of some parameters related to an IC in our study, like queue buffer length, the mechanism for hashing algorithm for entering the packet to one of queue in an IC, and the number of queue. The following plots show the performance result of maximum scale of system with different metrics, as shown as in figures. The LREProxy has excellent value quality in quality of service metrics. This means the quality of service metrics provided by LRE is within the acceptable range for real-time voice communication. One question would be raised here about the different codec. Since the more compact is codec used, like as GSM G729, the lower volume of relaying packets, but the rate of sending this packet increased. For example, the rate of sending package in G729 is more than G723 and is more than G711. The other metrics that could be directly impact of our study is interruption request optimization and the NIC multi-queue cabinet. In the left picture, we could see with the increasing the number of queue, the presence of the CPU is decreased. And the right picture, with the increasing of the CPU, the quality of service will be raised. One of our experiments is based on limiting NIC IRQ optimization between NICQ and CPU core. In some NIC, we could control network driver and hardware setting using ETH tools. Multi-queue hashing algorithm. One of the main questions could be raised here is how decide NIC? How does the NIC decide to which RX queue to push packet when a packet is received? Some techniques like load balancing or round robin is not acceptable and could make overload. The best way is used to create hash from packet to decide the RX queue number. The hash could be counted from 5 tuple: source IP, destination IP, source port and destination port, and protocol type. Compare it to other existing service for relaying session in IMS such as RTP engine, RTP proxy, and connection tracking in Linux. LREProxy has better performance in the volume of high number of sessions because it performs forwarding operation at the third layer of network. Connection tracking will be good performance at low capacity, but will show negative performance at the high capacity. RTP engine has ability to forward the package in third layer in local hooking section of network, but has lower performance compared to LREProxy. In this picture, we could see the performance of resources. Our SIPp, when they are trying to make calls, all CPU are used. And the second one is shown that all CPU are idles, because this techniques or our study is used offloading CPU for forwarding RTP relaying sessions. In this study, we used 2 NIC with HP 10 gigabit Ethernet controller. The packet classification used in this study related of STP metadata in SIP session. The second layer of our study, LREProxy transport stateful layer, provide a quick path selector which uses STP metadata index lookup table to identify the output. The result of this study led to defining a new module for Camellio called LREProxy module. It will be published in Camellio open source project as soon as possible. Thank you very much for this opportunity again. I am ready if you are any question. Thank you very much.